Hey trainers, Alakaham here with some more Pokemon video magic, and in this video, now that the Great League has rolled back around for Season 9 of Go Battle League, I have decided that I'm going to show off a team with Greedent, Big Squirrel, Big Scary Squirrel. So I'm showing you the team members here. Some of you are going to get sick of me using Deoxys, and on the one hand, I understand it's a super meta Pokemon, and a lot of people are running it, and maybe it isn't that spicy or interesting. But on the other hand, I played this game for a long time without having a Deoxys, and I love it now. So I'm going to make the best use of it I can. Look at Greedent. It looks so innocuous at first, but if you take a closer look, if you just stare at that face long enough, you can see the destruction in its eyes. You can see how sinister this thing is going to be. Big Scary Squirrel. No, actually, this thing is a lot of fun. It has a really great moveset. It's pretty tanky, so I'm going to showcase a few battles with it here. All right, so we are picking up some kind of lead here against Tentacruel. I actually really like Tentacruel, and I haven't made much use of it since the poison moves got buffed, so maybe I will try that with another video sometime soon. Should not have blocked that. Should have known it was an acid spray. Even if it was a hydro pump, we probably could have dealt with that fine. But whatever, I lost the shield. They come in, they're going to have to give me one of their shields. And I think at this point I'm just going to let the Deoxys go, hang on to that shield. We can come in with Greedent, and I'm going to shield this because this was my first or second time running with this thing. But I knew that we could store up a little bit of extra energy, and this thing has access to Crunch. Look at that, super effective damage. And actually, it is pretty tanky. So they come in with a Fire Chicken, which one? Blaziken. And even though it's doing super effective damage, Greedent is tanky enough that it can absorb some of those counters and still get away with launching 2 body slams and fainting the thing out. So at this point, I don't know if they would have got to a Hydro Pump or not, but if they had Hydro Pump as a secondary move, that's probably what could have won the game there with Tentacruel. But we were able to get to that Earth Power with Nidoqueen at the end, so that worked out pretty nicely. All right, we're going to check out some more Big Squirrel here. Just that the cheeriness of its face really is deceptive. Okay, picking up a lead against a Shadow Sableye. That's pretty neat. A lot of people purify those because once you get return... Oh, maybe that was purified. I record all of these on my phone, so the screen is really tiny. All right, so I swap into my Nidoqueen because Deoxys absolutely does not want to see a Sableye, and they hard counter us here with a Whiscash. So we're going to come make the best use we can of this Deoxys because it's if it gets switch locked with the Pokemon up front again, that's not going to be great. Deoxys doesn't have a great matchup against Whiscash either, especially with the moves that I'm running in this particular video. I change up its moveset a lot so that I can use it for different reasons. But because I had energy stored up and I didn't want to waste the energy, I decided to go ahead and block here, and now we are going to go for the Rock Slide, hopefully getting their shield, but we don't. That's fine, we get them pretty low, and now we are going to come in with the Greedent. And if they are throwing Foul Play, which they aren't, it wouldn't have been all that big a deal, but, you know, return hits pretty hard. And now they have a hard counter to Greedent as well, so we're just going to go down. It happens, right? Big Squirrel was no match for the Goon. Goonie is still doing really well in Go Battle League. It has a lot of really good matchups, so I strongly recommend it if you don't have one yet. Finally, we come up with a pretty good matchup here. We do have to look out for Foul Play, but Deoxys is going to hit pretty hard with those counter fast attacks. So as you can see, we can tank at least one Foul Play, which is good for us. and they're going to let that attack through because they know that the Deoxys is not going to have strong charge moves against it. I'm going to let this go because I really want to save shields for later in the game, particularly for Big Squirrel, because Big Squirrel gets really scary if it has shields. Not that you really need like both shields for it. Again, it's pretty tanky unless it's going up against a fighter, so, and it charges so fast. So I'm going to go ahead and expend a shield here because you know who got Psychic on this past Community Day, and if Nidoqueen gets hit with a Psychic, it is going to die immediately. So I'm giving both shields, right? I think that Nidoqueen needs to be able to get this next attack through so that we can make sure this Umbreon is nice and debuffed. If I were the opponent, I probably would not have shielded that one because I'm obviously not building up to Earth Power. I am just throwing the poison jabs. Anyway, Nidoqueen can do pretty well against a Azumarill if it has shields, but it also doesn't want to see charge moves like Ice Beam. So I'm switching into the Squirrel, and Greedent is actually going to have a really good matchup here. We can do super effective damage with the Bullet Seed fast move, and we are about to spam body slams like nobody's business. Look at how many body slams we have thrown against this Azu. So Big Squirrel comes in and completely destroys one of the most meta Pokemon in the game. I didn't know how that would play out. I didn't run any simulations for Greedent or anything. I just threw it into the game, and oh my, just wrecked that Azumarill. Okay, so this is a neutral-ish matchup because I can do super effective damage with both of the charge moves, but then Deoxys is going to take super effective damage from the fast move on the ghostly, on the haunted air balloon. So we were going to switch into Greedent, but then they swapped into an a Pokemon whose name I have not figured out how to say yet, but I figured a Malalala is going to take a lot longer to charge than the Greedent, so this is fine, right? Big Squirrel can block once and start throwing body slams, and so I was so frustrated. They were at 1 HP and got another charge move through, and I hate it. All right, so we really needed Nidoqueen against the fairy thing in the back. Was it a Clefable or a Wigglytuff? Whatever the fairy thing was. And we, nope. So we're switch locked now against Haunted Air Balloon, and the best I can think to do is just, you know, debuff this thing to a stupid degree, and I'm going to come in with the low HP Squirrel and throw a body slam to snipe it. And so that makes me feel better about what happened earlier, because even though they got their charge move through with 1 HP in a dream, I was able to get my charge move through as well. Okay, so Wigglytuff taking out the Deoxys. Not the most fun experience there. So again, I think this was like my first set with this Pokemon. So we're going to have lots of wins for you to check out too. And I've got more than 5. I've got some bonuses at the end to show you that I learned from my experiences. And I was doing better and better with Greedent the more that I used it. Okay, Meganium's pretty rough. So I swap into Nidoqueen, and their answer is Alolan Raichu. And there are stronger responses out there. I did not want to get hit with a Grass Knot, so I definitely wanted to shield that because I figured we can take them out and then debuff whatever comes in next into Oblivion. Okay, so this is fine. We have an Obstagoon. Its fast moves are going to be resisted. Only Night Slash does neutral damage, so we can go ahead and let some attacks through here, and Nidoqueen is going to be fine. So I was going to swap into the Deoxys, do as much damage as I could do with counter real quick, and then have charge moves ready to go for the Meganium. And this is okay because we're going to chip a lot of damage against the Meganium before they take us out with a Frenzy Plant, and then Nidoqueen is going to be able to farm down with Poison Jab, and that's going to leave us with Squirrel. Yep. Okay, so the problem here is that Squirrel does not want to see Goon. So we are going to debuff, we're going to grab that last shield, we're going to come in with Big Squirrel, and we are going to start throwing body slams, and that's going to be good enough. So Squirrel is tanky. Even if we would have had to take a cross chop, that would have been okay. Greedent would have survived from that range, and we would have got to the body slam no problem. So do not underestimate the Squirrel. Okay, picking up a lead against Azumarill, not great for our fast move, but in this particular battle set, I do have Thunderbolt equipped, and we're able to land that and do quite a bit of damage, so that's nice. We can tank at least one charge move from the Azu, and look at that, we come across another big squirrel. Squirrels were abounding the first day or two after this thing was released, and that's because it's honestly it's pretty good. I like it quite a bit. It works a lot like Snorlax, it just has some slightly different moves, and it's just not quite as tanky. It's pretty close. Anyway, I stayed in with the Deoxys because we were going to be doing super effective damage there, and I figured now I can come in with the queen herself and poison jab down. And they got to multiple charge moves because, again, this thing is super spammy. So that's okay, we're going to poison jab down and then give a very royal queenly welcome to whatever Pokemon comes in next, which is going to be an Altaria. So these poison fangs are really going to add up against the Altaria. Of course, we are debuffing it each time, and it's doing neutral damage on each hit, so we do get that shield. And then they're going to take out the Nidoqueen, so that means it's Greedent time. Time to shine. They do take quite a while to charge up the Altaria, so we're going to come in, we're going to tank that Ice Beam, we're going to build up so much energy. So we have 2.5 body slams ready to go, and I'm going to try and just farm down. I was getting nervous that they were about to get to another Ice Beam, so we're going to throw that body slam, and now we have another one ready for the Altaria, so this is going to work out just fine. Body slam is going to do neutral damage, and that's good enough to take out the Cotton Bird there. So that takes us through our first set, and I did give a bonus battle just to show another example of Greedent working. So we come up against a Hypno here. This is okay. We really have to look out for neutral moves as well as the super effective Shadow Ball in terms of charge moves, but we're pretty safe from the fast move Confusion, which is really what makes Hypno threatening to most Pokemon. We are, in general, outpacing as well, although I think that they are building up to Shadow Ball and then trying to bait us and then throw the Shadow Ball. I wonder if... Okay, yeah, I think I was counting, and I was pretty sure that they didn't have Shadow Ball yet, so I didn't want to risk them getting to the point where they can throw that, so I just went ahead and used my charge move, and that's fine. They're coming in with the Dark Eevee, Umbreon, which is fine. I'm going to let the Deoxys go down. I'm going to throw energy, and this should be fine. I can let at least one attack come through here. And what I want to do is give the Umbreon a nice set of Poison Fangs here. I guess I decided to use a shield at this point. I probably didn't need to. Oh, except sometimes when I use a shield, other people are much more willing to give a shield. And so I figured if I did that, they might be willing to expend another shield of their own. Okay, so we do get a shield there. And I'm going to let this go because I've already debuffed the Azumarill. I want it to throw its energy. I'm not too worried about the energy coming off of the Umbreon. So I'm going to let one attack come through because I figured that was Ice Beam, which is, you know, not going to do as much as some of Azu's other moves. And you know how it works. We're just going to start spamming these body slams, trying to get that last shield. But they let the Azumarill go down. That's fine because we charge stupid fast on Big Scary Squirrel here. Look at that thing just smiling its murderous smile as it throws those body slams. We'll use our last shield because we can just bullet seed down. So anyway, Greedent is a lot of fun. If you do not have Big Squirrel yet, I strongly recommend it. And it's only 10,000 Stardust to give it a secondary charge move, which is really, really nice. So it's a convenient build, and it's a good sub for Snorlax if you're wanting something that works like Snorlax, but you don't have 75,000 Stardust to dump into a Snorlax for a second move. Go for Greedent. It's pretty good. So I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you had fun watching it. If you enjoyed the content, please go ahead and click that like button. It's really nice to get that response from y'all. And also, tell me what you think of the team. Tell me what you think of Big Squirrel, and whether you've had any adventures from them as well. I would love to hear from you in the comments, and to have you be a part of my Pokemon Go community here on YouTube. And to do that, of course, you should subscribe so that you can come back to see more videos in the future. I hope to see you around, and I'll talk to you next time, trainer.